you will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Hello, this is Medical Help Direct. How can I help you?
Oh, hello. I've got a problem with my back. With it being the middle of the night, I can't go to the doctor, and I wonder if you could give me some advice.
Certainly. But first, can I have your telephone number, please?
It's 03786 439 251.
The man's telephone number is 03786 439 251. So 03786 439 251 has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you are recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1.
Hello? Help. How...
With my back, with it being the middle of the night, I can't go to the doctor, and I wonder if you can give me some advice.
Certainly. But first, can I have your telephone number, please?
It's 03786 439 251.
OK. And if you could give me your first name, please.
Robert.
And your surname?
Ridyard. That's Ridyard.
And now your address, please.
It's 27 Station Road,
OK.
Moortown. And do you need the postcode?
Yes, please.
DP17 5HJ.
And your date of birth?
The 25th of February, 1975.
Fine. Now I just need to take details of your doctor.
She's called Dr. Craven.
And the surgery?
It's Moortown Health Centre.
Thanks. Now, can you tell me a bit more about what the problem is?
Well, like I said, it's my back.
OK. Can you tell me which part of the back?
Lower.
And have you had any problems with your back before?
Yes, I had a bit of trouble last year, in June, I think. Or was it July? No, we went on holiday at the beginning of July and it had cleared up by then.
And when did it start this time? Has it just come on?
No, I've had it, let's see, since Monday, so that's 3 days now. But it wasn't too bad at first. I mean, I could just about get around, though. I couldn't drive the car or anything. Then this afternoon, the pain suddenly got so bad that I went to bed. I've been to bed since, but that hasn't helped.
And do you have any pain elsewhere? In your stomach or abdomen, for example?
No.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10 on page 2. Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
OK. Now, have you any idea what caused the problem?
Well, I was tidying up my office and I lifted a box up from the floor that was heavier than I thought, and I think that's what did it.
Yes, it's easily done, isn't it? So you're in bed now?
Yes.
Have you tried applying heat to the back?
Yes, I've got a hot water bottle. That's usually the first thing I try.
And have you taken any painkillers?
Yes.
And other than that, you feel quite well?
I do, yes.
Right. Now, I can't diagnose or prescribe any medication, but I can offer you some advice. One thing you could do now is to see if ice makes any difference. That sometimes helps. But don't put it directly onto your skin. Wrap it up in a towel or something. And don't leave it on for longer than 20 minutes.
Oh, right. I haven't tried that before.
It can be useful sometimes. Now, have you seen your doctor about this?
No, I just thought Well, everyone has back pain, but I've never had it as bad as this before.
I think you should go and see your doctor tomorrow, and she may be able to give you something to help.
Okay, I'll do that. I'm actually feeling a bit better now.
Good. And you might get some advice from her about exercise. That's often the best way of dealing with this sort of problem.
Okay, I'll ask her.
Right. Now, if you're worried about anything before tomorrow, you can always phone back. Our lines are open 24 hours.
Thanks very much.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 2 on page 3.
Welcome to Southern Wonders Beach Resort. I hope you had a pleasant journey getting here. And now, before you retire to your beachside accommodation, here's a little bit of information about the facilities and the surrounding area. You'll find the cottages are located right on the beach. As you walk into the cottages, on your left, there's a board with practical information about staying in the cottages. If you need any more information, please come and see us at the reception desk. Your membership card will give you free access to all our sporting equipment for snorkeling, tennis, windsurfing or water skiing. Just see Joe at the boat shed and he'll fit you out with all the right gear. But remember, if it's water skiing you're after, you'll need to book the night before. For golf enthusiasts, there's our 18-hole course, complete with man-made lake and waterfall. In addition, if tennis is your game, our coach from the States is on hand to give you personal tuition if you're on the tennis court by 8 a.m. Now, for those of you who are less sports-minded, but like the idea of a bit of an adventure, a trip to the limestone caves might be just the thing. These caves are extremely old and reveal fossilized remains dating back 35,000 years. I'm sure you'll be impressed by the way nature has created the stalactites and stalagmites over the years. A word of advice, though. You'll need to wear a safety helmet and some sensible shoes in order to go down into the caves, and it gets quite cold and damp down there. Helmets are issued when you buy a ticket, so you just need to remember to bring some safe, sturdy shoes. A sweatshirt might also be a good idea. As I said, it can get a little chilly inside the caves. For a family outing, the wildlife park attached to the resort is highly recommended. This is a place where all the family can enjoy the native flora and fauna close up. Little kids always love the animal feeding times, and they will have the chance to actually feed them themselves. The red kangaroo, which as you probably know is the largest of the marsupials, is actually taller than a person, and is capable of leaping 30 feet. That's about 10 meters in one single bound, so watch out. The park also includes a crocodile farm. It's one of the few places in the southern hemisphere where you can have your photo taken with a crocodile. Well, near a crocodile anyway, because the crocs are on the other side of the fence. Charlie, the biggest of the crocodiles, is well over 50 years old. They can live to a ripe old age.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 18 to 20 on page 4. Now listen and answer questions 18 to 20.
Finally, for the ultimate in relaxation, we do recommend you take a trip to the hills of the inland region to visit one of the farms or orchards. These farms provide 10% of Western Australia's primary exports, and because of the favourable geographical conditions and the talents of the farmers, they've become extremely successful in both the tourist and primary industries. Most farms extend hospitality to visitors by offering light meals and lunches, and if you like, you can go on a tour of a cider or cheese factory. That's always a very popular trip. And a local arts and craft industry has also sprung up, with some exhibitions being held in quite unusual environments. You might like to buy some of the pottery or items made from local wood. I'm sure you'd find they make a wonderful present for your friends back home. So, don't forget, come and see us at reception if you need any more information about the tours. That's all I want to say at this stage.
Part 3. You will hear two students named Amy and Mike discussing Maori carvings. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
Hi, Mike. Aren't these New Zealand carvings we've been studying in class fascinating?
Oh, hi, Amy. Oh, the Maori greenstone tikis. They're all a bit organic for my taste. You know, all curves and twisting shapes. I like modern stuff, geometric shapes. But I can see the skill involved in making them.
But the stories behind the tikis are what make them interesting. Besides, I imagine it would be difficult to create geometric patterns. The shape of each tiki seems to follow the natural contours of the stone. It's extremely hard, and it requires expertise and time to shape.
That's true. I suppose that's why modern greenstone carvings are so expensive. But there aren't that many genuine old ones around. Archaeologists rarely discover such treasures, which is odd given they are such a huge part of Maori culture. I wonder if archaeological dig sites were raided and the tikis were taken to sell.
I believe it's because the owners valued them, and so preserved them. Many of them would have been passed down through the generations and remain in the possession of the families today, like heirlooms. Do you know what they were used for?
I thought they were just an art form or a means of decoration. But Professor Mathieu says that the Maori believed tikis were sacred and could be used as a pathway to their ancestors. They believed the dead could speak to them through these talismans.
So they don't represent tribes or anything? Interesting. How many different kinds are there? There must be hundreds of variations.
There are other greenstone carvings beside tikis, although I can't remember all their names. Traditional tikis themselves can be divided into two distinct groups though.
Can they? By the materials? I've seen some with metal features. Or is it to do with size, or where they were made?
Actually, it is the ways that their feet, heads and hands are placed that make the major difference.
Is it easy to discern the difference between the ancient stones and more modern reproductions? Are the styles very different?
Modern reproductions usually use a different type of stone, although they may be of the same design. They may also be of a smaller size. But it's actually quite easy to tell if you are buying a genuine carving or a mass-produced souvenir.
How?
Nowadays, they are produced by machine, using lasers even, so they have no blemishes. In genuine carvings, they aren't always perfect, because the Maori used simple hand tools. For example, the hole that the cord is fed through isn't perfectly round.
That makes sense.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion, you have some time to look at questions 26 to 30. Now listen carefully and answer questions 26 to 30.
Actually, it's amazing that they produce such detailed tikis with such simple tools and materials. Talk me through the process. I know the basic shape is carved from New Zealand greenstone.
Yes, but first they had to get a blank of the right size.
You mean a piece of stone of the right size and basic shape?
That's right. They used a hard stone tool, something rough, to wear a groove into a piece of greenstone. After they'd scored it with that, they could just snap it in two. I guess they could have used some kind of hammer though. They repeated the process until they had a piece of stone suitable for what they wanted to carve, usually flat pieces for tikis.
Right, because they're fairly small and quite thin. Then they started carving?
Not right away. Before they could start carving, they needed an absolutely smooth, flat surface. Nowadays, when we want to do something like that, we'd clamp the stone in a vise and use a sander. But they used a heavy block of sandstone and rubbed the piece of greenstone on it, over and over, to prepare it for carving.
It must have been very time-consuming. So how did they cut out the little details, like hands and feet?
They had carving tools. They used small chips of stone glued and tied onto a wooden handle. Then they also used a piece of sharpened bone made into a point.
Is that what they used to make the holes?
Actually, they had a special tool to make holes. It was a stick tied between two heavy pebbles with a point at the end. They would wrap string around it, pull it back and forth to wear a hole into the tiki. They used the same technique to make round shapes too, but didn't make the hole go all the way through.
And I've seen some tikis with coloured eyes or decorations. Are they painted?
Mostly they are inlaid with different coloured stone or mother of pearl from shells, or sometimes dyed pieces of bone. They were fixed in place using tarata gum, a sticky plant resin. They used plants to make the natural strings too.
That's right. The Maori were very resourceful, weren't they?
They certainly were.
Part 4. You will hear part of a lecture related to how technology contributes to education. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
Hello and welcome to today's seminar about education. Education is a lifelong process. There is no limit on when to start and stop, and we have been using technology so much these days in each and every sector of our lives, including education. Have we ever taken out a second to wonder if it's leaving a positive impact on our work, or it's just that we have been relying on it so much that we've become used to it? Yes. There used to be some problems here. Earlier, there was a lot of debate about technology and education amongst the faculty at our school. Everyone had their own views. At first, some believed that the use of email made students and teachers interact with each other rather less, and this was not a good thing. In terms of characteristics to consider when seeking mentors, this practice involves a kind of software which allows students, as well as teachers, to talk and discuss with each other more easily, and they said they enjoy this way of communication. But gradually, as technology was embraced by more educational institutes, they realized the importance of technology in education. The main benefit is that there is a strong relationship with the local economy when it comes to the effectiveness of the use of IT in education. In the more developed areas, the schools and institutions have better access to more advanced technology, and the teachers are better trained to use the technology to improve the quality of their classes. In contrast, in some less developed regions and remote areas where technology is not so common, the effectiveness can't be guaranteed. However, wherever they are, the most common example for teachers using technology in education is the usage of computers in their methods of incorporating computers into teaching. In most classrooms, the mode offers students a channel to post any work that they are proud of, whether it's a nice photograph that they take, a case study they do, a song they record, or even just a great idea they have, so it gives them a chance to showcase their strength and build up their confidence. Many students use this feature to show the best of themselves. It also provides students an opportunity to choose what they learn on the internet, so they no longer have to sit in the classroom listening to something they aren't bored with, and they don't have to wait all night trying to register for their favourite elective courses. Compared with the traditional platform, it is more flexible. The open source which the new mode provides is free for students to use when they are trying to look up online for their papers or researchers, and the data will not easily be found on the internet because only registered users have access to the database. By the way, all the materials are original works of teachers or scholars, so there is no need to worry about the quality of the content, and with the overwhelming amount of unwanted information on the internet, this mode gives students a new search engine they can use on campus, so information like advertisements and skeptical sources will be filtered easily. This is a perfect example that can offer some hope of reducing problems. Apart from that, students can arrange their daily activities and improve their time management skills by simply ticking the boxes in the timetable online. They can set up their own starting time and their deadline for each assignment.